Grumpy Coffee, the best coffee in all the land. Had my coffee this morning at home. Beautiful everyday blend. It's so freaking good. So good. Go to grumpycoffee.com.au. We get over 500 5-star review, guys. With a thing is like, sensitive is the wrong word, but is, what's the word? Pedantic when it comes to coffee taste.
Yeah, I don't want to use the word, but like everyone's kind of a coffee snob. You know what I mean?
Everyone's a coffee snob. For us to have that many good reviews, and like, I know I'm talking ourselves up here, but that's how much I believe in it. I really do. Like, I wouldn't have started and I wouldn't have released a product I didn't believe in. But to 500 plus 5-star reviews for a thing that is so pedantic, so snobby, coffee taste. It's not just like something that, you know, you scull and you're done for the day. It is truly about taste. And we've got that many. So give it a try, grumpycoffee.com.au. Order yours today. Speak to our customer service, any dramas.
Just a bloke in a bar.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of I Don't Know. This is a Wednesday show. There is a Jack Della Maddalena episode, interview, whatever, coming out. Really cool interview. Really good opportunity to like get to know him as well. It was really relaxed. Sometimes when you're in the interview, you're kind of like, because you're not nervous, but you're anxious about doing a good job. And you're unaware of like, how good is this going? Like, how calm is he? How much are you getting a feel for who the interviewee is? And I think it turned out really, really well. And it's done by Fox as well. So watch it on our YouTube and you'll be able to see the clips as we're talking about them. But yeah, legend of a bloke. Just one of the boys. You could tell, like, some guys you go and talk to, especially like in boxing or MMA, you can tell they would fit into a rugby league locker room. Like Jai Opataya, 100%. Like, fuck. I can imagine him being a fucking edge backer or something in footy, sitting in the locker room talking smack. Alex Volkanovski, obviously, and JDM, very similar. Like, you can just one of the boys, one of the lads.
I just like true blue Aussies kind of just killing it.
I grilled him a little bit. So before his world title, he used to own a silver Commodore.
Yeah.
And I was like, listen, I don't want to put you on show here, mate, but you used to own a silver Commodore and you upgraded to like a Range or something like that, Ranger or something like that, Range Rover. And he was joking, it's like, yeah, no, I should have kept the silver Commodore. And I was like, 100%. Could you imagine the UFC world champ driving a silver Commodore?
Oh, iconic.
That is hectic, bro. That's hectic. See, PR... Anyone that wants me in the PR game, you need me. You need me. I can give you some insights. Speaking of PR, so I'm driving on the way here and I saw like this big billboard, Dan Murphy's. And I was like, you know what's so weird about things like that? Like businesses that are names. Imagine someone saying, oh, we're going to the Matt Buxtons.
Yeah, true.
Imagine like I'm drinking Denon Kemp's. Yeah. Johnny Walker. Like I'm having a Johnny Walker. Or I'm going to get some beer from Dan Murphy's. I'm going to get some beer from Matt Buxton.
Yeah, or I'm going to like wearing Tommy Hilfiger.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm wearing Matt Buxton.
Yeah, I'm wearing Matt Buxton.
Bro, that's so fucking weird.
It is weird. But I tell you what, because you get used to the brand, like the name Dan, their name sounds weird now as a name.
It's not a name.
It's not a name. It's a brand.
It's a brand. It's a business that exists. It just shows you the power of branding. Like imagine someone saying, like you started your own business and someone says, oh yeah, just drop down to Dan and Kemp's.
Yeah, it is a week out.
That's so weird, bro.
This is like a bit different, but imagine Daniel Radcliffe his whole life. Like he's just known as Harry Potter.
Yeah, he is Harry Potter. And he's actually done some really good movies.
I've seen a couple of really good ones.
Yeah, he's a gun. He seems like a legend, Harry Potter. So he's Harry Potter forever. Oh, man, that would be like genuinely, like I know, oh, you're super rich, don't complain. But like a guy like Harry Potter, I just called him Harry Potter instead of Dan.
Yeah.
Daniel Radcliffe. Like genuinely... Yes, of course the money would be worth it. Like, of course we would all sit here and say, yes, do I want to be Harry Potter forever? But imagine everywhere you go, people would be calling out, Harry!
Yeah, it's your identity forever. And it's
forever,
and it's been removed for like a decade now.
Yeah, like anywhere you went in the world, no matter what, like you're going to have some beers with your mates and he seems like not like one of the lads is in like our kind of, you know, but definitely close to that, you know. He definitely doesn't seem like born in LA, Hollywood kind of stuff. Imagine being out with your mates and like constantly Harry Potter and like people running up to you. Like it'd be tough. Like I don't care what anyone says. Like that would be tough. Now, granted, would it be worth it? Yes, it would be worth it.
I think it's different though. Like you know, if people for Seinfeld or whatever were yelling at George Costanza or Jerry Seinfeld, I think that's different because they're adults. But like he was literally a child actor,
and it's just like one of the most iconic characters in the history of essentially mankind. And so, yeah, I mean, imagine all the people. This is the one thing is like, you know, if you're known or whatever, when people come up to you, they think that they've got this unique joke for you. Like,
oh, yeah.
You know, you're a wizard, Harry. Like, think about how many people are like, oh yeah, fuck, I haven't heard that one before. You know what I mean? It happens all the time. Like if you're known or whatever, people think they've got the unique joke that like no one else has thought of. It's like, bro, fuck, everyone's saying that shit.
Emma Watson, the Hermione?
Watson, yeah.
Apparently when she was at uni or college or whatever, she had to leave because every time she answered a question, they'd yell out 10 points to Gryffindor.
Okay, that's worth it. That's
so funny.
So good, bro. You know what? Doesn't matter how many times you say that, that's worth it. But that's a repeatable joke.
Yeah, that's
because
hilarious.
it's about getting points for Gryffindor.
Yeah.
That is so fucking good. Whoever started that is the GOAT. And I bet you any money, he's probably like 40 now, and he tells his mates like, bro, Hermione had to leave. He calls her Hermione. Emma. She had to leave our uni because I just kept calling out 10 points to Gryffindor.
Yeah, you dined out on that forever. That's hilarious.
That is actually unbelievable.
What
Okay,
about the Wallabies player who's named Harry Potter? That'd be weird as well because you're not even
close to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would, you know, the jokes he would cop would be even worse because he doesn't even get paid for all the money.
Yeah, he's easily the worst off of all of them.
Yeah, because he doesn't get paid all that cash to fucking get cop the Harry Potter chat. Apparently there's like a remake happening. I'm not a fan. Just like what I don't get with remakes is like, okay, I understand a remake if there's new technology or there's more of a budget to retell a story that can be told in a much better way, or at least attempt to a much better way. Most remakes suck. Bro, you can go back and watch Harry Potter 1 to 8 or 9. It's 8. You can go back and watch right now and it still holds up. So that's what I don't get. It's like, go back and watch Lord of the Rings. It still holds up. Like yes, okay, it looks a tiny bit old, but not as old as you would think. Not as the only thing that looks old with Lord of the Rings is some of the CGI. Everything else, you could release it today and it would do well. It's exactly the same with Harry Potter. That's what I'm not getting. Like, what... Like, I know why they're doing it. It's for money, but it's like, bro, like, it doesn't need to be remade just yet. Like, I get in 50 years or whatever, maybe you could, like, do hectic sets with, like, all the, like, sports they play in it and Quidditch or whatever and, like, the spells. Like, I get it. I really do. But already? Like, what?
And I get it's a TV show, but, like...
Which actually does make more sense because you've got more time to tell the story.
Yeah, and I guess, you know, they didn't mention everything in the books, but... I don't know. I'm with you. Like,
have you read the books?
Yes, when I was a kid.
You read the books
when I was a kid. Yeah,
and my understanding is like it's not they don't do everything, but it's a pretty good retelling of the books.
From what I remember, yes, yeah.
But I don't make sense. And I understand as a TV series, like you'll be able to get far more into detail. I get it, but just too soon because as I said, like a remake is something that's like lost its space in culture. Harry Potter is still firmly lodged in our culture as a cultural icon.
Yep.
Like it's still, it's not cringe. It's not old. It's like Harry Potter is still, I don't know. I don't get it. Anyway, is what it is.
I'll have a look though. I'll definitely have a look, but I'm preparing myself.
I'll have a look. I honestly, if I'm being fair, dinky die, I'm about 1 out of 10 confident that it'll be solid.
You're scarred from the, was it the Lord of the Rings remake?
Oh, bro, don't even bring that shit up. Because all of the modern societies, all of that, you know, nonsense is going to be injected into it. Like, you know, the stories and themes, like the problem with a lot of modern art or cinema or whatever is the story or the piece of art is not the number one priority. The message they're trying to send is the number one priority. So the story takes a back seat and becomes second priority, and that's when you start punching holes in the story and making it shit because you've got this message you're trying to push, and so a certain character who didn't have a big say initially in the text, all of a sudden they're a main character because you need to push this message of a modern audience, and it's just like, no, you can still have great movies that push those messages, but the story must be the priority, and then the message can be deeper under that in the second or third priority. It can't be message first, story second, because that's when you start moving things around that don't make sense or you know people don't want to push the message. And so that's my concern with it, is that the message of, you know, we all know what I'm talking about. Fucking kills me. And that's what's so frustrating about stuff like that is, like, I'm a big fan of movies that have messages. But the problem is that most stories, they go message first before story. But that's some of the most profound movies you'll watch will be about things similar to what message is being tried to be pushed today. But the problem is they try to patronize and talk. It's all condescending nonsense. Whereas like there are great stories out there about things that they are trying to talk about, but the core of it is a story rather than a message, right? And the story is messages about what you're trying to say should be the undercurrent of a story, not the forefront dictating how the story is told. That's what I'm trying to say. The message should not dictate how the story is told. Like you shouldn't be like, oh, the story should probably go right, but because I'm trying to push this message, I'll make the story go left. That's when it gets shit, in my opinion, anyway. So look, I'm not very confident, but I will give it a look. This episode is powered to you by Lontel. Look, guys, you know the drill. Best internet in the game. Internet of the future. It is, most internet's out there at the moment. It's a contract. You pay monthly. Even if you barely use the internet, you're still paying it. Whereas the good thing about Lontel is you only pay for not only what you use of the internet, but the speeds you use as well. So a game comes out, boom, crank it up. You download that game, you bad boy, in 10 minutes rather than having to leave it overnight. Then, boom, turn the speeds back down. Then you're only paying for normal speeds. You're going away for a couple of weeks, boom, pause it. You're not paying for it. So it's the internet of the future, guys. On top of all that, guys, NBN. So look, we've all got a certain thought on what NBN is. I'm sure you do as well, Matty.
Yep.
We all have a certain thought. It is not like that anymore. They have improved it. There is over 150,000 different houses right now that can, if you go to the link in the show notes, you can check whether you're eligible to get fiber to your house. We're talking fiber. We're talking crazy speeds that you've never seen before, most likely. And it used to cost you $30,000 to get it. It is now free if you're eligible. Go to the link in the show notes. The NBN isn't what you thought it was. And look, I can attest to that. I used to be a big, when someone said NBN, I was like, oh, bro, what happened there? Now I'm sitting there going, this 70 gig file is about to download in 3 or 4 minutes.
Yep.
And as I said, I'm not making it up. You've seen it on my Instagram. I've literally recorded it. So go to lontel.net.au/bloke. On top of all that with Lontel, the reason why you might be with a different internet provider, you get at 6 o'clock at night and you're supposed to have these certain speeds. You get on there and it's slow as anything. I'll tell you why. It's because they don't pay the premium price of making their lanes. Imagine the internet's a big highway. And if you pay for 2 lanes, during non-peak hour, everyone drives through smoothly. Everyone's just, okay, it's all good. During peak hour, all of a sudden those lanes are chocker and you're slow. The thing with Lontel, the reason why it's premium, is they pay for a bazillion lanes and it's never slow. That's a premium internet. It's the best in the biz.
I got a bit of a story. So yesterday, with the interview that we're releasing today when you were in Perth, so you sent me that last night. I think it was 5:50
pretty
p.m.
late, yeah, pretty late.
And I was like, normally I'd be like, all right, I'll do that tomorrow because it'll take.
Oh shit, that would have been a big file. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, it'll take an hour to download. It'll take an hour to upload. And I was like, I'm not leaving till 6. It was 10 minutes. I was like, I reckon I got time to do it. And boom, it was up. It was
How
literally.
many gigs was it?
I don't know, but it wasn't huge. It was probably 6 or 7 gigs.
Yeah.
But it took less than 60 seconds for all of it to happen.
That's what I'm saying. Guys, if you're a business, and there is a business part of Lontel as well, that's what I'm talking. It has changed Matty's life. The amount of extra content we can get out. Anyway, you guys know the drill. We use the product. We used it before we even talked about partnership with Lontel, but that's how much of a fan we are. All right, let's get into it, shall we? New anti-tampering rules. Chamis is reporting that the NRL is set to introduce a beefed-up anti-tampering rules that will prohibit club officials and player agents from making public or private remarks about future contractual players and ban clubs from shopping players to rival outfits without their permission. That's a really interesting one, because that seems like more of an RLPA request.
Well, in the article, it said that the NRL and the RLPA have agreed on this.
Yeah, because that seems like... You're right. You shouldn't be getting shopped to other clubs without frigging your permission. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, seriously.
Under the new rules drawn up by the NRL and the Rugby League Players Association, there you go, clubs and agents face sanctions if they are either contact an agent or player to discuss the future of a player, if they are not a free agent, make public comment that is deemed to be enticing or inducing a player to break contract, shop a contracted player from their own club to a rival club without their permission. So, yeah, I guess, look, whatever's best, really, I always lean on the side of, not whatever's best for the players, but mostly whatever is good for the players, I usually land. Also, whatever good for the health of the game is where I usually land. So, look, if they can implement this, good stuff. But don't forget, guys, use code BROWN for $7 off sushi this week on Menulog. Okay, so Kini will start. Actually, you know what? Let's talk about the Titans first. So Rebecca Frizzell has gone on the front foot, the owner of the Titans, ringing in Corey Parker's radio show.
Yep.
And basically saying, I want to make it really clear that Hannay knew about the Bellamy situation this whole time. So I got like a lot of feelings about this because I got some of it's really good, some of it's like, we're questioning a few things. I will say I felt a bit sorry for Cos because like when you read his initial quote, he's saying if Hannay wasn't aware of it, that they may have lost his trust or whatever. Like his initial quote, unless I'm missing a quote, like unless there's a quote else out that I've missed, so apologies if I did. It's not like the Gold Coast Titans are terrible for not telling Hannay or anything. It's not that at all. But like the way it's been reported is like the Titans owner has come in and just shut Cos down or whatever. And again, if I've missed it, and he handled it professionally, obviously. So I think it's really good that they've made it extremely clear that Hannay was across it all. It still feels weird. There still feels like something's not being told about this whole thing.
Well,
why didn't this happen 3 weeks ago?
That is what I was going to say. Like, sure, she's gotten on the front foot and fair play, and it's good that we have the information
I like
now.
this, and I'm going to get into this a bit further. But yeah.
But like, you can't really have a go at Corey Parker when he didn't know all the facts.
Yeah.
And if he did say if, then I don't know. I feel a bit for him as well. But this should have been squashed weeks ago.
And then the thing is, in his answer, he alluded to that. He's like, okay, we've got some clarity now that for so long we didn't. And that's where I'm like, I'm torn because I love this new version of the Titans. Get a bit of mongrel about you. Get on the front foot. Call in radio. Say, no. Because the way I see the Titans, like if you're looking at it as a business perspective, and this is what the Dolphins did really well, and I know they did it because they told me they did it when we spoke to them. They understand they're a challenger brand. And like, what is a challenger brand? You've got established brands like the Brisbane Broncos that have this kind of old premium feel of like deep roots in Brisbane and Queensland and Australia. Now, what are the negatives of being an old, big, deeply rooted, established brand? You're slow to move. They're also a publicly traded company. You can be less rogue-like. There's this kind of classiness that you need to have, this properness that you need to carry yourself with. Like the Rabbitohs and the Roosters, if they started coming out being super cheeky and like, like rogue and that, it'd be like, hang on a sec, you're supposed to be two, traditional clubs that are stalwarts of the game. Now, the Dolphins came in and said, we'll never beat the Broncos at that. They've been around they've had too much success and are too big for that. So what we can be is the cheeky, rogue upstart that can be more flexible, can be more aggressive with certain things we do. And although the Titans have been around for a while, that's where I see that's where they need to head. Super rogue, yes, a bit of controversy here and there. Like, for example, like all in all, in the grand scheme of things, if Hannay is okay, as long as he is okay, I like that this controversy has happened for the Gold Coast Titans as long as, Hannay is okay. And as long as the leadership, because the problem I have at the moment is this. There's been a transition of leadership clearly at the club. And this has all happened as the transition has happened. So is it the old guard that has made this like juggling of certain things happen? Or is it the new guard so that's the real question. Now, my thought is that they are not going to continue to make these mistakes. However, I do think that a bit of controversy around the Titans, it can't hurt. A really good example of that is like, look how bad the Tigers have been. And I know a lot of Tigers fans are going to sit there and say, we don't want the controversy, we want to win games. And that is true. You've got to win games. That's the main priority. However, look how much they've stayed in the limelight as a brand. And business-wise, they're actually going pretty well because of all the controversies. Think about how much we talk about the Tigers.
Yeah, they're
for a club
probably the most team.
Nothing.
Yeah. Like, the most talked about team probably this year was Broncos, but Tigers are probably in the top 4.
Yeah. So again, it's a very fine line to. I'm not saying go out there and try and create controversies, but if you are being aggressive in the media and talking about things, now granted there are certain things you've got to keep under wraps. Like I think I'm not all the way in the camp saying, oh yeah, the Tigers are run really well. Not at all. However, if you actually go and watch the Dallas Cowboys documentary, they talk about it about making it like an engaging team. The difference is they're winning. Like if you're winning and if you can get to a point where you're winning, like Broncos are a perfect example actually.
Yeah.
Winning and drama. Best thing
perfect,
ever.
Yeah.
Perfect. Winning and drama. Like think about how big the Broncos this year in regards to headlines, news, their impact across the sport, because they were winning and there was drama.
Even like Penrith when they started their streak.
Winning and drama.
Yeah.
It is the perfect combination for a sporting club. How, as I said, the key ingredient though is winning. So if you can get the Titans to start winning some games, plus they're a bit more brash about things. Now, as I said, I don't want them to go back to the old ways of sacking coaches, not telling their captain or whatever. But I just want them, because they've always been the nice guy, the Gold Coast Titans. If a club stands over them in a negotiation or does something underhanded, they always turn the other cheek. I want them to, and I even though I don't fully agree with the premise of because you were wrong for saying if he didn't know, then this was. I like the aggressive style of we are no longer getting pushed around.
Yep. I'm with you there. I'm just a bit confused though. Are you still... Has your view changed though on the actual Hannay thing though?
No, not at all. No, not at all. And that's why it's hard to separate, is it the old guard that did that?
Right.
I don't... for example, do you think Scotty Sattler, Matty Johns and Gordon Tallis would allow that to happen going forward? I don't think they would.
No way.
I don't think they would.
I'll say, and just to kind of off the back of what you said, besides that one little incident with Hannay and Bellamy, the Titans have got the biggest facelift, especially in the last few days.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's what I'm talking. That's kind of the point I'm making. It's I don't want them to do dumb shit like that again. Where the perfect world would be let's say this story drops. If Rebecca Frizzell came out and did that the day after, boom,
hectic,
huge win.
Yeah.
We did want him as a coaching director, but we weren't going to bring him as a coach. And it's ridiculous that you would even say that. And Hannay knew the whole time. Boom, nailed it. And so growing pains. As I said, I don't want them to keep doing that. I just think that they can't be the nice guy anymore.
Yeah, I'm with you.
They can't be the nice guy.
I feel good about him. I really do.
I do.
And if they can somehow keep Tino, but I know that's a can that's going to get kicked down the road a bit, but just the whole Matty Johns, Gordon Tallis thing. I like that Josh Hannay has come out and said, this guy's playing here, this guy's playing, he's pretty much sorted his spine, which is something that the Titans haven't done in the last few years. I'm excited for it.
I think we've both been pretty clear, outside of the Bellamy situation, how it's been handled, we've really liked it. The fact that they landed Hannay is insane.
It's since landing Hannay, it's been pretty much perfect except for that one thing.
The Bellamy thing.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm taking everything with a bit of a grain of salt, because I'm it still sits a bit weird with me that this wasn't nipped in the bud straight away.
Yeah.
Because I know, I just put myself in that position if I was an owner, and, Rebecca Frizzell is way more successful than me. So maybe there was some reasons not. Maybe it was a NDA with Bellamy or whatever. I don't know. But I just know in that situation, I would be doing everything I can. As soon as that story drops, I'd be doing everything I can to be yes, we have talked to Bellamy about a coaching director or a football manager. No, he is not going to be the coach. That is not happening unless, that's right now, as Hannay is the coach, in a couple of years, if he wanted to become a coach, you know what, I wouldn't even just say that. Because even if people, I'd say, no, it's not happening. And let's say in 2 years' time, Hannay doesn't work and Bellamy wants to coach there, and you brought him in, I don't care about the nuffies that are hang on a sec, you said this wasn't happening.
Yeah,
it's
who cares?
Things have changed. You how dumb can you get? Things have changed. So who cares? So I would literally be definitely not happening. Hannay's our coach. We wanted to bring Bellamy in as a football manager. The story would have died immediately.
Yep.
And that's where I go, I just reckon there's a little bit of, again, pure speculation, guys. So this is just my opinion. We're sitting around having a beer at a pub or a grumpy coffee. I think there's a middle world where technically that was the case, but there were probably talks of do you want to coach here? Because if you do, we'll take you up.
Seems like 1 foot out, 1 foot in.
Yeah, did technically there was emails about a football manager role? Yes. Was there some very discreet conversations of would you be a coach? That's where I reckon it's probably landed. Because for as much shit as journos get, and sometimes they do make stuff up sometimes, a lot of the time, there's a bit of smoke. Where there's smoke, there's fire.
For sure.
Now, sometimes when I say they make stuff up, what happens is, not every single time, sometimes purely just make stuff up. But what happens is someone uses them for an agenda.
Exactly.
And comes in and says, this has happened, this has happened, this happened. And then they go, okay. And then there might be someone else that's in on the agenda that's being pushed. So they publish the story. Now, granted, I do think that some journalists are far too trigger happy and they don't deeply check the sources. And, there is pressure from above to get stories out, to be the first. I get all that. With that all being said, for clarity, don't like how Bellamy's situation was handled at all. However, I hope this is the new version of the Titans that's in your face, that if you talk shit about us, we're going to come out and clear the record or whatever. I like it.
I wonder how much I guess, input Tino had in all this. Like,
Yeah, like it's in like you better clear the record with this because this is getting out of hand. Yeah, super interesting. I wonder how much input Matty Johns had in it.
yeah, true.
Because like, if there's a man that knows media, it's Matty
Well,
Johns. He's essentially the focal point of rugby league media in regards to like, not the focal point because you could say NRL 360 they're probably still the story setters.
Yeah.
But in regards to like being able to handle the funny side, but also the story side, like there's no one really better.
Yeah, he's the man.
So I personally think I reckon like people go, oh, he's bought into it. I got a funny feeling that the Frizzels gave him the shares.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I reckon. Or he bought them at a discounted price. Because like definitely at a discounted price at least. Because who's getting more out of this right now?
The Titans.
Like by a bazillion miles.
It's not even close.
Yeah. And so, and it often happens in businesses where like they'll bring in someone and give them like a share of the business for their knowledge, but also their outward connections and all that kind of stuff happens pretty regularly.
If they've done that, then I love that.
Guys, we're talking Rebecca Frizzell. The Frizzels are like more successful than 90.9% of the people in the country. Like these are successful people. They know how to run a business.
Yeah.
And to be clear as well, they didn't have majority share. And I don't know how their businesses, I don't know how the Titans are set up, whether it's, because there's two ways. Well, it's usually seats at the board. But anyway, if you have majority share of a company, you automatically get a seat at the board. I think it's the way it works. However, if it's not about majority share, it's about who has the most votes in the boardroom. So let's say a company's set up and there's two parties. One goes, all right, give me 2 seats. And I'll say, okay, you give me 2 seats. Then anytime something big comes up, we vote on it. But usually what happens is like there's one team, there's another team. That's what's happening in West Tigers right now. Whereas like there's probably a board set up and there's probably, let's just say there's 10 seats given out. And it's probably split down the middle where 5 are on one team, 5 on the other, and they just keep blocking each other with shit. And so that's the way it would work. Whereas, to my understanding, the Frizzels have full control of the Titans. So they may either have more board seats or just a majority share, and that's giving them an extra board seat or something. That's what, you know what? That's probably what's happened. They already had a seat. They purchased majority share, which gave them an extra seat, potentially. You know what? Business savvy people, like deep in business, let me know. Let me know how that would work. Like if you already have a seat, but then you own 30% of a company and you purchase 51, but the company is already set up with a board members of 2 and 2. Oh, you know what would have happened? I know. When they purchase majority share, they would have said, we want an extra seat.
Yep.
And that gives them control. Because like initially it would have been set up probably an equal share of seats on the board. And they would have said, well, we're not going to purchase majority share unless you give us an extra seat. Okay, that's probably how it would happen. Anyway, as I said, all that aside, we're through that, done with the Bellamy stuff. I like Rebecca Frizzell coming out and being front foot. This is how it is. Even if it's like only half true. Just do what's best for the business, you know? Like, again, don't be unethical. But, you know, if you can say something, you know, that helps your business and really, like, look at Gus Gould. Like, he'll get up there and, like, he'll be like, nah, never spoke. Don't even know the bloke. Never spoke to him. And then the bloke signed 3 or 4 weeks later. Because his job is, and like, this, you know, I know you can say, oh, is it ethical to lie or whatever? It's like, you know, is that bad of a thing? You know, everyone knows what he's doing. Like, granted, it's not, are you a monk? Like, you're a fucking monk transcending spirituality? Like, no, you're not. You're a footy manager that's willing to twist the truth a little bit to get across the line. So yeah, I'm stoked with it. I like it. Don't forget, guys, brought to you by Ashley Mazda. You know the drill, guys. Give Luke your follow, LDC_1. Currently a used car deal going for bloke community members only. They have a 120-point check. Give him a message, LDC_1. He can walk you through it. Okay. Kini is Kini to start at fullback as he did last week to reshuffle New Zealand backline pack champs. Meanwhile, Sewer returns from concussion in a reshuffled Samoa side. Jeez, she's ramping up, isn't she? Kini.
I am still in shock that he's played 28 NRL games. I googled that on Monday. I cannot believe that. When I think about it, sure, but he's just done so much already.
I know, and just consistently had these crazy games where he's just like killed it, mate. I think the Walsh Kini battle is going to be something Look, I think that what Walsh did, to expect another person to just be ready to do that, I don't think that's the case.
Yeah.
However, will they have in-season battles of form? I think they will. But like, what I mean is, like, I think people will think, okay, well, Kini's going to go and do what Walsh did in the final series. Like, some of the best players in history haven't done that. You know what I'm saying?
I think most of the best players in history haven't done that.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, but is there seasons going to be where people are genuinely going to be debating, is Kini in better form than Walsh? That's how good I think Kini's potential is, at least. The problem is, though, is the one thing that Walsh has that is just like irreplaceable. Like, we've seen really good ball runners before. Have we ever seen a guy that has done what he can do in regards to ball playing at fullback?
Honestly, like, I can think of many examples, but there was one last year. It was against the Raiders. I'm pretty sure it might have been even 2 years ago. It was when Rapiner got split.
Yeah.
And that, like, he just threw like this 25-meter cutout and put it on Cobbo's chest. And for some reason, that one stuck with me forever.
Yeah.
He's just, and that was 3 years ago, and he's even better now.
Yeah. And so it's just like, even our best halves don't do that. Like, obviously they do big cutout balls. What I'm saying is, like, just like he'll be falling over and he'll throw a 30-meter cutout ball as he's falling over. You know what I'm saying?
I know this isn't ball playing, but then he just goes and kicks a few 40-20s as well.
Yeah, he kicked 5 40-20s on the season. The most of any player in the fucking NRL.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Like, he has like the most, like, it's just, that's what's so crazy about Walshy is, like, it's his amount of weapons he has. He's just got a better ball playing than most halves, better long kicking game than a lot of halves, crazy good running game when he wants to. You know what I'm saying? Whereas, like, I think Kini, his running game is hectic. His ball playing is still solid. It's not bad at all. Just not like, and when I say it's not on the level of Walsh, it's like, whose ball playing is, like, really, as a fullback? Latrell's?
Probably Latrell, yeah.
But even Latrell, like, they probably have the same amount of cutout balls, but does he have an amount of,
It is different, I guess. Like, Walsh is, I don't know, Walsh is playing at such a speed and Latrell is kind of doing it differently.
I'm just trying to think, like, the thing that probably makes Walshy so, like, showstopper is he does it in such a weird way sometimes. You know what I mean? Whereas, like, Latrell is truly, like, pinpoint, cutout ball, bomb, like, just, yeah. So probably Latrell. Latrell's really the only one. You got Drinky there as well. But I think that in regards to just, like, insane plays, it probably is Walshy. But anyway, as I said, I think his potential really is to compete with the top best fullbacks in the game, and question whether he is the best form fullback of the game.
Yeah, we were robbed this year when he got injured. Like, we'll touch Woody's fine, and we'll see a good season from him next year, or not a good season, a season where he plays every game. So that should have been this year. And he, as you said on Monday, like, he was out for the whole year with a really serious injury, and he just comes back and does this for the Kiwis. Like, it's bloody crazy. So yeah, very excited for next year for Kini.
Yeah. So we got DMP tomorrow, guys. We've got Packer Up boys. So if we didn't go deep into the pack games, don't worry, we're going to. But just quickly, Curran, Michael Chambers suggested Curran maybe squeeze out of the doggies. Who could sign Curran? If it is true, this situation, it might not be true. The only thing I can think of is the Dogs are going, we can get some, like, he can get a pretty big wicket elsewhere. He's hot property right now. Because, like, why would you let go a guy like him?
Yeah, I was surprised when I saw this, to be honest.
Play essentially anywhere in the forward pack.
That's this thing. Like, his versatility to be able to play different positions is very important. And I think he's a really good player.
No, I think he's a gun.
Yeah.
Gun player. So the only thing I can think of is, like, they probably got him for relatively cheap and he's, like, probably too expensive for them now. So they're like, listen, you can get a big deal elsewhere.
I'm not surprised at that, though. Like, they signed all these, what do we call it, utilities 2 years ago. And, like, a lot of them are playing so good that there's going to be upgrades. They're signing people. So,
like, he'd be a perfect buy for Perth,
Yeah, exactly.
Good 600-700K. He can live over, away from family and play well. He played well at Warriors for periods there. Can play anywhere in the forward pack. PNG's another one. You know what I mean? Like, there are teams. He's only 26 as well. So, yeah, he probably pricing himself out, which is understandable. He's a bloody good player. Brought to you by Good Day, guys. Go to begoodhealth.com.au. Grab your Good Day. Also, Daylights. It is a rehydration satchel. Begoodhealth.com.au. Use code DMP for 10% off. Subscribe to get 20% off. Outside of that, brought to you by KO. Huge clash. New Zealand Samoa guys, you know where to watch. It's on KO. And can the Aussies go 3-0 up in the Ashes? Watch every game live on KO. And just lastly, should Kevin Walters make changes? I think he should. Like, not because like there's anyone specifically that you just go, oh, he's been terrible, we need to get rid of him. But it's just like, I understand the want to win 3-0 or whatever, but it's like, yes, that is true. Do we want to win 3-0 or do we want to smash them? Selfishly, I do. But am I more focused on giving younger guys or fringe guys an opportunity to wear the jersey so they're ready for next time? Yeah, that's what I'm more focused on.
Yeah. My actually initial thought was, and this is a silly thought, I backtracked immediately. My initial thought was, oh, you don't just give jerseys out. But then I realised, well, they've been over there the whole time.
Yeah.
And then I saw this stat from the Rugby League Project from Andrew Ferguson, who I get pretty much everything that I look up is from this website.
Yeah, wow.
He said that 30% of people that have played for Australia have played less than 2 games.
Wow.
So it's not like, I don't know.
There's a history of like, it's not like, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
And also like, I mean, I get the argument of like they've got to earn it and play better than the opposition, but it's like, but also what's better for the nation? Having guys that haven't played and they've got to make their debut in a big game because we've got an injury, or giving that, like they were selected as a squad.
Yes.
And there's a squad's purpose isn't just to play the best players, it's to build, for the future.
Yeah, we'll look for next World Cup.
Yeah, next World Cup. So, in the next World Cup. Yeah, so I reckon they will. And funnily enough, I actually reckon they'll go better, not because they are better players, but because they'll be more like desperate to try and steal the jersey.
Yeah. Look, they're
so
still going to...
These happen in games like this. They'll be like, oh, well, he should have played the whole time. But it's because
I know.
he's desperate to like get the jersey, so he's going to play a certain way.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts. But like, look at the guys. Like Mitch, Moses, Edwards, Best, Strange, Brayley, Preston, Moses.
Every single one of them deserve an Australian jersey.
Like, fuck.
So
you know what? I can't wait to like underrated, under the radar. Can't wait to see him in the jersey. Is Bradman Best?
Oh,
I want to see that big square Minecraft head in a jersey.
I wanted to see that game 1. I actually think he should be there. He's incredible, but
And he just suits rep footy.
he does.
Like anytime he's played for New South Wales, it's the physicality that he brings. Because like in rep footy, you got to be physical.
Guess how many games he's played for the Blues?
1, 2,
2. And he's already had, his first game was that double that he scored, and the second game he won the series for us with a try.
He's just made for rep footy.
He's an
Like,
origin player.
It's the
He's a rep player.
physicality he brings. Because he's so strong and powerful, it doesn't matter how physical you get with him, he'll usually win the contact.
Yeah.
And that's what rep games are all about, is that initial physicality to win the battle. And that's why I just think he's so suited to it. So I can't wait to see that big, thick boy. He's a thick boy. A legend of a bloke too.
Yeah,
Absolute
he is.
legend of a bloke. And look, would it bring a tear to the eye to see him maybe hack or Gabba in the Australian jersey? Maybe. Maybe make you proud. This is like all these old people listening, mate, back in my days, none of that bloody dancing, mate. But if I saw the great Bradman Best with a bum bag over his shoulder in England, hacking after a try.
It'd be like as iconic as when Greg Alexander scored a try for Australia in France and like did a backflip, thinking that there was no cameras on him, but then he was like, "Oh, this just gone viral."
No way.
Yeah,
Far out,
I think
mate.
that's the story.
Could you
I might have
imagine?
that wrong.
He goes over and he just...
Oh.
And I was thinking the other day, do you think there's any cops when they're practicing shooting, they go... like they make the gun sounds or the... to make sure they like to shoot better?
I would say yes.
I reckon. But yeah, get that big Bradman in the bloody... Like, talk about just pure Aussie beef. Like he might even have a sticker on his back that says 100% Aussie beef. Good luck tackling that bloke out there. So yeah, I want to see big Bradman back Best there. It's going to be interesting as well because there is a part of me that thinks the Cleary, Munster, Grant combination, like, are they all too good to be playing together? It sounds silly to say this, but like, stay with me. Grant and Munster are the main men, like, to a degree. Like they're so unique the way they play that, like, if you're Cleary, geez, it would be hard to fit into that system because essentially Cleary has to fit into that system, and he couldn't be anything further from the Melbourne Storm system. It's the Penrith system is all around him and Isaiah Yeo. So you've got Cleary and Isaiah Yeo who have their system. You've got Grant and Munster of theirs. Then you've got fucking Walsh out there, Mr. Toilet Drinker, just wigging out, going crazy, frigging killing it. You know what I'm saying? Whereas like if you went Moses, Moses, Strange, Brayley, like, is there a world where because they're less, like Moses is very dominant, but Strange and Brayley definitely not.
Well, even if you kept Cleary and then went Brayley and Strange.
Yeah, because Cleary and Moses work really well together.
Yeah.
It's definitely the selection I would make is obviously Cleary, it's Munster, it's Harry Grant, it's Reece Walsh at the back there. But like, systems beat stars. Penrith Panthers prove that. Now, granted, they built themselves into stars, but the star is the system. And I just wonder, is the smoothness of a Brayley at 9 that's just pinging balls out, just getting them to the right person, is it a better, with less amount of time to work towards it? Like, don't get me wrong, if you had more time to get Harry Grant, Cleary, Munster and Walsh together to work together, it would be like genuinely unstoppable. But if you have less time to work together, is it better off having a more traditional spine that automatically clicks into gear because they play a very conventional style of rugby league?
Yeah.
A train of thought that I've had for a while now with these rep games. I've just been trying to think, sorry to cut you off.
Nah.
I've just been trying to think about New South Wales and the Cleary situation.
That's what I was going to bring up.
It's such a bizarre situation. And I'm not in the camp of like, Cleary's never played good in Origin. He's won multiple man matches. He's played good. He just hasn't hit the heights that his incredible club form have put him there. And I just wonder, is there something about, like, this is what I really liked, and this isn't hindsight, what I really liked about Michael Maguire's selections when he was a Blues coach. He selected not the best players, he selected exactly the player that suited how he wanted to play.
Yep.
It was the style of play was the priority over how good a player was. And all you got to do was look at the Broncos as well. Style of play was a priority of who got selected and who didn't. We go over it ad nauseum, but you look at the guys that got selected for the Broncos this year, and I just wonder if you're a rep coach.
It's the same for Queensland Origin. Billy Slade does that as well.
Yeah, style of play. That should be your main priority as a selector at the moment. And it's very easy for me to say because, like, if let's say for some bizarre reason Kevy won't come out and said, all right, the halves are bloody, they're Cleary, Moses, Brayley, and Walsh, he would have been crucified.
Yeah.
Crucified.
Definitely.
And I think also, like, because we, even with a lesser version of our team, we can beat England, like, he doesn't need to do that either. Whereas in Origin, every percent matters.
Exactly.
Every percent matters. So I don't know. It's just a thought process. I'm just trying to work out the whole rep footy thing. Anything on that, mate?
No, I was just going to bring up the New South Wales Origin, how it doesn't seem to have worked, and it seems like Queensland have kind of nailed it.
Yep.
But yeah, too many weapons in the double bag, as it's been spoken about 100 times for the Blues. Like, on paper, with these air quotation marks, the Blues have had a better team for all these years and somehow never win. So there's definitely, there's an argument there for that.
Yeah. Alrighty, we are done and dusted. Make sure to grab your grumpy coffee. Get Lontel Internet, the best in the biz, guys. Best in the biz. And as usual, I'll go and fuck myself. Thank you.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.